Dear students, in today's class you are going to learn how to calculate interest on drawings of partners under different situations in case of partnership form of business undertaking. I have already written a problem here on the board. Just we will go through what is given, try to understand it. After that we can calculate interest on drawings of partners. Okay, let us see what is given here. P and Q are partners in a firm. Their capital balances as on 1st January 2020 were rupees 8 lakhs and rupees 6 lakh respectively. During the year, P withdrew rupees 1000 in the beginning of every month and Q withdrew rupees 2000 at the end of every month. Partners closed their accounts on 31st December 2020. Calculate interest on drawings at 6% per annum of both the partners. This is the problem which is given here. What information is given? Here two partners are there, namely P and Q. They have invested rupees 8 lakhs and rupees 6 lakhs respectively in the firm as their investment. And here important thing is Mr. P has withdrawn a fixed amount of money whole year. Just you see, P withdrew rupees 1000 in the beginning of every month. During the year, what he has done? He has withdrawn rupees 1000 at the beginning of every month. Means during that particular year, in the year 2020, he has withdrawn rupees 12,000. Every month 1000 he has taken from the partnership firm. But here the wordings at the beginning are given. That is very important here. At the beginning of every month, in the sense we have to assume that on 1st January he withdrew rupees 1000. On 1st February he withdrew again rupees 1000. On 1st March he withdrew rupees again 1000 rupees. Like this up to December he has withdrawn rupees 12,000. Total amount withdrawn by the partner is 12,000. Why the word beginning is given here? Because whenever the amount is withdrawn at the beginning of every month, that month is to be counted for calculation of interest. For example, on 1st January 2020, if he has withdrawn the amount, that month's interest is required to be calculated. January month is to be included in the calculation. That is why here the wordings are very important. Next you see Mr. Q has withdrawn rupees 2000 at the end of every month. In case of P, in the beginning of every month, means on 1st January, 1st February, 1st March, like that. But Mr. Q has withdrawn rupees 2000. Here also Mr. Q has withdrawn a fixed amount of money every month. But when he has withdrawn that amount? At the end of every month. Means on 31st January, he withdrew rupees 2000. What is the meaning of this? 31st January is the date of his first withdrawal. That is why on that first withdrawal, that month of January is not supposed to be included for the calculation of interest, because at the end of the month he has withdrawn. Because of that reason, while calculating the period for which the interest is to be calculated, you should consider the wordings which are given in the problem, that is at the beginning of every month or at the end of every month. Okay, here as per the partnership agreement, the firm is closing the books of accounts on 31st December 2020. What is the accounting year of the partnership firm? That starts from 1st January and ends on 31st December every year. Okay, here rate of interest on drawings is given, that is 6% per annum. What we need to do is, now we have to calculate interest on drawings of both the partners. Okay, here in order to save the time, what I have done, I have written the information here about the months. See, from January to December I have written. Okay, first here you see what I have written. Drawings of P, beginning of every month, right? Here Mr. P has withdrawn the amount at the beginning of every month, means 1st January, 1st February, like that. That is why first month is also included in the calculation of interest. Very interesting thing is there. See, on 1st January 2020, Mr. P withdrew rupees 1000. Okay, when he has withdrawn this rupees 1000, he requires to pay 6% interest on that to the partnership firm. Okay, now for how many months interest is to be calculated on this first drawing is very important, because since the amount is withdrawn at the beginning of every month, therefore the month of January should also be included. When we include the month of January, then we have to count all the months. Then up to December, how many months will come? 12 months. That is why here on his first withdrawal, he is required to pay interest for the whole year. For 12 months, he has to pay the interest on rupees 1000. That is the meaning. That is why here I have written number of months for which interest is to be calculated. Okay, next one is in the month of February, he has withdrawn again rupees 1000. Now January month has already gone. That is why here on this amount of rupees 1000, interest is to be calculated for 11 months. Because first month has gone, then in that accounting year, how many months remain? 11 months. That is why here on this amount of rupees 1000, interest is to be calculated at 6% for how many months? For 11 months. Next one is when he withdraws the amount on 1st March, here for how many months he has to pay the interest? For 10 months. Like this it goes in the descending order. Just to see in the month of April, 9 months. Next one is 8 months, 7 months, 6 months. Next one is 5 months, 4 months, 3 months, 2, and last one is 1 month. But in the month of December, interest at 6% is to be calculated only for 1 month. Like this, these months indicate the period for which interest is to be calculated. Okay, once you understand this one, easily you can calculate the interest. See, apply 6% on 1000 for 12 months, means for 1 year. Whatever amount comes, you have to put it. Next one is second drawings, you calculate 6% for 11 months on 1000. Like this, if you calculate separately, then you get the total amount of interest on drawings of Mr. P. Okay, next one is come to drawings of Q, end of every month. See here, he has withdrawn the amount at the end of every month. Means in the month of January, he has withdrawn the amount, not at the beginning. On 31st January, he has withdrawn rupees how much? Amount of drawings is rupees how much? Rupees 2000 per month. That is why here I write the amount withdrawn by Mr. Q in the first month, in the month of January, that is on 31st January, 2000 rupees he has withdrawn. But for how many months he has to pay interest? Since the amount is withdrawn at the end of January, that month is not supposed to be included. That is why in that particular year, how many months are there? 12 months. In the accounting year, 12 months are there. Therefore, 1 month has already passed. That is on 31st January, he has withdrawn the amount. Because of that reason, here interest is to be calculated only for 11 months, not for 12 months. That is why here number of months or the period for which the interest is to be calculated, I write. See, on his first drawings, only for 11 months interest is to be calculated because amount is withdrawn at the end of the month. Next one is in the similar way, in the month of February, he has withdrawn rupees 2000. Therefore, for how many months you calculate interest? For 10 months. In the similar way, in the month of March, for 9 months, calculate. Next one is in the month of April, he withdraws rupees 2000. Interest is to be calculated for 8 months. Next one is in the month of May, interest is to be calculated for 7 months. Like this, in the descending order, you have to write. In the month of June, 2000, 6 months. Next one is, here you write 5 months. In the month of August, for 4 months, interest is to be calculated. In the month of September, 3 months. Next one is in the month of October, 2 months. The month of November, for 1 month. Now you see, in the month of December, he has withdrawn the amount at the end of the month. Means on 31st December, he has withdrawn rupees 2000. Therefore, interest is not to be given to the partnership firm for that month because he has taken on 31st December. Therefore, interest is not supposed to be calculated on that. That is why here the period for which interest is to be calculated comes to 0. This is very important. When the amount is withdrawn at the beginning of every month, in the month of December we get 1. But in case if the amount is withdrawn by the partner at the end of every month. You see, in the month of December, the period for which interest is to be calculated comes to 0. Since the amount is withdrawn at the end of the month, that month is not supposed to be included. Very simple. Now, you see how many times they have withdrawn the amount? 12 times amount has been withdrawn by each partner. Every month they have withdrawn, whether it is at the beginning or at the end. See, while calculation of interest on drawings, very important aspect is the period for which the interest is to be calculated. Therefore, here period is different for every drawing. In case of first drawing 11 month means in the second drawing 10 months and third drawing 9 months, like that it comes. For each and every drawing we need to calculate interest at 6%. Okay, if we calculate interest on each and every drawing by applying the rate of interest, what happens here? It takes a lot of time, right? In order to save the time, here the experts have developed one formula, that is average period is to be calculated. What that formula says? Here, if we calculate the interest at the given rate for that particular average period, for the total amount withdrawn by the partners, we get the same result as we get here when we calculate for individual drawings. Here what is to be done? First important thing you need to remember is the total amount withdrawn by the partner is to be calculated. Here, in case of P, he has withdrawn rupees 12,000 and Mr. Q has withdrawn how much? Rupees 24,000 during the year. Instead of calculating interest on individual drawings, we can follow the simple formula for calculating the interest. But for that, what is important? We have to calculate the average period for which interest is to be calculated. When we apply that average period to the total amount withdrawn by the partner, then we get the same result. Okay, fine. Now we'll apply the formula and calculate the average period. After that, we can calculate the total interest on drawings of both the partners. Okay, let us first calculate average period. Average period. Average period. See, in case of P, first we'll calculate the average period. How to calculate the average period here? Just you see, first you have to take the total number of months for which the interest is to be calculated on his first drawings. That is why here I am going to write total number of months of his first withdrawal plus total number of months of his last withdrawal is to be divided by 2. Here we have already calculated the number of months here. Just you see, Mr. P withdrew the amount at the beginning of every month. That is why in the month of January, he withdrew rupees 1,000. Therefore, interest is to be calculated at 6% for 12 months. That is why here 12 months is the period for which interest is to be calculated on his first withdrawal. That is to be taken here. Total 12 months plus total number of months of his last withdrawal. See here, in the month of December, he withdrew rupees 1,000. Therefore, interest is to be calculated only for 1 month because he withdrew the amount at the beginning of December. That is why here for 1 month only we calculate interest on his last withdrawal. That is why here 1 month is to be taken. Total number of months of his last withdrawal is to be divided by 2. Now we get what? 13 divided by 2. It comes to 6.5 months. 6.5 months. For 6.5 months, we calculate interest on his total drawings. This is the average period in case of P. Now, how to calculate total interest on his drawings? Total interest on P's withdrawal or P's drawings, you can write, simple thing. Total interest on P's drawings is equal to total amount withdrawn by the partner, total amount withdrawn, total amount withdrawn. What is the rate of interest? 6% is given in the problem. Rate of interest you take into average period, into average period. If you remember this formula, easily you can calculate interest. See, total amount withdrawn by Mr. P in this example was rupees how much? Rupees 12,000. That is why here I take rupees 12,000. Rate of interest is already given in the problem, that is 6%. And for how many months interest is to be calculated? For the average period, 6.5 months. That I write 6.5 divided by 12. Divided by 12. Now we simplify this one. See, 0 cancel, 0 cancel. Next one is 12, 6 1 6 2 2 1 2 6. It comes to 60 into 6.5. Then you cancel on 0. It comes to 390 rupees you get. This rupees 390 is nothing but his total interest on the drawing amount of rupees 12,000. Okay, fine. Here 300, try to understand here, rupees 390 is the total interest on his drawings. Okay, during the year he withdrew rupees 12,000. Even if you calculate interest on each and every individual withdrawal, you get the same result. See, instead of calculating for each and every individual withdrawal, we can apply this formula and we get the result. I hope you understood the concept. Now you come to the average period of Mr. Q. Again we calculate average period of Mr. Q by applying the same formula. Here how the average period is calculated? First one is we have to take the total number of months of his first withdrawal. See, in case of Mr. Q, since Mr. Q withdrew amount at the end of every month, that is why on his first withdrawal, the interest is to be calculated only for 11 months. That is why here what I am going to take here, 11 months plus total number of months of his last withdrawal. Means here you see in the month of December, that is at the end of December, he withdrew rupees 2,000. Since the amount is withdrawn at the end of December, therefore here the period for which interest is to be calculated comes to 0, is to be divided by 2. Here we get the result 5.5, means 5.5 months. Now what is this 5.5 months? This is the average period of Mr. Q. Now what is to be done? We calculate interest on his total drawings by applying the same formula. Here what is the formula? Total amount withdrawn by the partner. Total amount is to be taken here. What is the total amount? Rupees 24,000 into rate of interest is 6%. What is the average period? 5.5 divided by 12. Here 0 gets cancelled, 0 0. Next one is 6 1 6 2 12, 2 1 okay, 120. Just you simplify this one, whatever the result you get, I mean you put here 0 you cancel, 12 5s are 60, 6 remains, again 12 5s are 60 plus 6, it comes to 660 rupees. Just you check it. This rupees 660 is the interest on drawings of Mr. Q. Therefore here what I am going to write, Q. What is the meaning of this? Even if you calculate interest separately for each and every withdrawal of Mr. Q, you get the same result. See, on his first withdrawal on rupees 2,000, you apply 6% and calculate for 11 months. Next one is you calculate interest for 10 months in case of his second withdrawal. In case of third withdrawal, it comes to 9 months. I mean for 9 months you calculate. Like this, if you calculate at the end, whatever the amount you are going to get, that amount is equal to 660. But by implementing or by following this formula, we can save time. Therefore, here this is the way how we need to calculate interest on drawings. Okay, this is the way how we calculate interest on drawings of partners if the amount is withdrawn at the beginning of every month or at the end of every month. What you need to do? You need to remember the formula. Sometimes the amount may not be withdrawn by the partners whole year. In case you see here, if Mr. P has withdrawn the amount only for 6 months, in that case, when you apply this formula for the calculation of average period, what you need to do is first you have to take 12, because in the month of January, interest is to be calculated for 12 months. Assume he has withdrawn only during the first 6 months, then the last withdrawal comes to 7 months. That is why 12 plus 7 average period is to be calculated. Okay, fine. Anyway, okay, I hope you understood the concept. If any doubt is there, you can send the comment, and try to share this video even to your friends so that they can also get the benefit of this. Okay, thank you.